It is time. Ooh. More green. The morning walk. When Anne and I go out a walk, we hold each other's hands and talk of all the things we mean to do when Anne and I are 42. And when we've thought about a thing, like bowling, hoops, or bicycling, or falling down on Anne's balloon, we do it in the afternoon. Hello, welcome to my car. I still got my fall knits on. It's fall until the 21st, technically. And then I got my sweater on, one of the ones I made earlier in the year. I was at work just for a little bit. I don't work full time. You probably can't hear the church bells, but they're going off. I just sent some emails. I actually planned out when my choir is going to sing at Mass from January until May. I planned all of that out, which is hard to do because we rotate Mass times, and sometimes I have other things going on, and sometimes life and the calendar just has, some of them are in multiple groups, and it's just a whole thing. So I did that, and I made some Facebook events for stuff that's going on here in the month of December. I just dumped a bunch of stuff on Facebook. We don't really have an official social media person, so a couple of us just do that. And now I'm gonna go to the library and return all of my books. This book I highly recommend. Book of Doors, Gareth Brown. It's his debut novel. I couldn't believe it was his first book. I absolutely loved it. It was really good. Some of it I saw coming, but a lot of it I just wasn't expecting. I had seen it recommended somewhere, and I just kind of checked it out. I didn't even read the blurbs. I didn't read the jacket or anything. I just dove in and started reading it, and there was a ton of stuff I didn't see coming, and I really, really enjoyed it. Some of it was really touching. I thought the writing was good. I don't read a lot of things written by men, so I'm surprised, a little surprised, that I like something with a female main character that was written by a man and it's a debut novel. That is surprising to me, but there you go. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Marisa's Scrap Corner. This is where we sit on the ground and we ask ourselves, how can I take my scrap busting to a new level? I've been planning to do this since last year, so this is what remains of last year's Advent right here. In my mind, in my brain, I was like, gosh, I have so many leftovers. Look at all these leftovers from this project. I do not have so many leftovers. I have a tiny handful of little 1 or 2 ounce scraps of nothingness that I have hoarded in this bag. And in addition to that, I have all the ends. I have all the ends of yarn, the ends that have the white on them where there's no dye, that are all squiggly and are 6 inches long that you cannot really do anything with. And they tie your yarn skeins together when you ship them to keep them in order. I have hoarded all of them. And I have all these, not all of these, I have 8 little balls of leftovers out of the 12 that I originally had. And I'm knitting them into little baubles to make myself a garland as a decoration. I couldn't even get one full bauble out of one of these little balls. I had to use just blue on the tip of that one. So I'm on my second one, and I'm having the time of my life. It's so fast. It is so satisfying. I'm gonna make so many of these, you don't even know. This is the best idea I might have had in my entire life. Now I will link the pattern because it's not my own pattern. Someone has made a free bobble pattern. That's for a DK weight and this is sport weight, so I'm knitting one extra row in the middle to try and make them like just a little bit longer, and accept that I'm just gonna have like maybe slightly smaller than gauge option as my own garland here, but I mean, it's just a garland. Like, it doesn't matter what size this is as long as it brings you joy. So the moral of the story is you should save all your yarn scraps, especially if it's from like a brightly colored advent like this, and make yourself some decor. Do you know what this would be good for also? Is little gnomes. I am planning on starting to knit gnomes, and we'll see how I like it. I mean, maybe this is my sign. Maybe this is the sign that I'm being called to knit 3D things. Maybe 2025 is gonna be my amigurumi year. You never know. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Socks and a home decor. Do you think my channel will like rise to be more successful if I just knit weird home decor out of scraps? I think not, but I don't care. I'm just doing what makes me happy. Alright, so I'll check in later. Honestly, this is not very much yarn, so I probably will finish this today. But I have some fingering weight options as well. So I could either hold them double, or I could just, I don't know. I might have to hold them double because don't know. I don't know if I'll like the look of it if I knit fingering weight on these needles. And the idea of knitting these bubbles on size 1, I don't know about that. Although I suppose I could try the size 1. I suppose I could try them on these needles with fingering weight and up the stitch count a little bit and knit some extra rows, and maybe that would be a good idea. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I do have an actual cast on today. I finished my socks. They're the same pattern as the maroon ones I made recently. The pattern is called Mousse, a lichen, moss and lichens. It's just ribbed on top of the foot, plain on the bottom. Come on, will you get brighter? I guess not. And then there's some pretty easy, nice little cables on the cuff. So I'm glad that they're done. This took exactly 75 grams of yarn, and I just have one more pair to make for my mother-in-law by Christmas, and that's the only socks I have yet planned for Christmas, which is good because it's December 4th and they will take a week. I'm blocking the bee sweater. I left it overnight, and now I have it hung kind of by the heat in our room, so I'm hoping that will be dry maybe by Friday. I probably will buy another ball of yarn, but it's like a little bit too soon to say for sure, but I think I am going to. This is a scarf I'm making for my mom for Christmas. It's called the Starflower Shawl. I'm about to do another row of contrast color. I don't like that this is like all pulling into the same stitch like that. I don't know, maybe I'm doing this really wrong, but I wish I could just sew the contrast color on. I think that would be faster than the knit instructions are for it. And they say to cut the yarn every time and have all these like what am I supposed to do with that? So you'll be seeing more of this in the coming month. I think I'm just gonna commit to it and assume that once it's a lot bigger, it will make more sense, and that this yarn is really gonna get to shine. So I think that's everything. Oh, here's the 10 like bobbly things I made today. Whoop. So there's all of these. Some of them are like multicolored. Some of them are just like one color. They're super cute. I just have to pick out, you know, what color yarn I want to string all of them on. And I'm still gonna make at least 3 more in these cool toned colors. And then probably a pink one out of fingering yarn. And then I have like a bunch of other scraps here as well. And then this is the yarn that I'm like stuffing all of them with. And I've set this aside as stuffing for the gnome that I'm still planning on making. So I might do a couple more of these tonight. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Let's say goodnight to my cat, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow. I probably won't post on the 5th unless I do earlier in the day if I have time, but it's my wedding anniversary. So like I'll be busy. I'll be with my husband, so I probably will see you on Friday. Good night. Rosie, do you want to say good night? Good night.